Bungie for the Eververse store is actually doing something kind of cool, even though it is still kind of a little money hungry. I decided to just combine those words on the fly for some reason. But essentially, if you actually look at the Eververse store, there will be a flash up that goes through, and there's also a thing right here. Basically, some of the stuff from the Battle Pass from Season 10, way back when, has been added back to the Bungie store. Now, it is available for Silver, sadly, and I'm not sure if it's ever going to actually go back into the Bright Dust store, considering that's mostly just random Eververse products, and I've never really seen anything Battle Pass related. But if you started playing recently and want to look back at Season 10 and thought any of those cosmetics, at least some of the unique stuff was cool, specifically like the armor sets, like I imagine every class will have the ability to buy their individual armor sets from the Season Pass, as well as ships, sparrows, and ghost shells that drop from the thing, in case you're wondering what they look like, as well as a finisher that is from that Battle Pass, being able to see it once again, and swoop. And then, of course, an emote from, I believe, rank 99 of the Battle Pass. And then also the ornament for Time Match book that was available at rank 100. Which, personally, I like the idea of, but then ended up only really using the base version because I thought it ended up looking a little bit better in the long play. But regardless, if you wanted any of the stuff from the Season 10 Battle Pass, go ahead and buy them for Silver while you can. Otherwise, they might not be here. Because I recall they were saying only available for, I think, until maybe October 2nd, but that's just my brain not remembering what Bungie's pop-up said it was. So get it if you want it, let me specify. Then going on to the main Brightest store, on the front page we have another meme shader in the form of Springtide Faint. If you can't tell why it's a meme shader, then you don't understand the meme. And then we also have Oiled Gunmetal, which, looking at it, actually looks a little bit better than I thought, especially with the green glow and the slight sludgy metallic look. It doesn't look half bad if you're looking for just a solid dark look and going forward. Unspun Fate from Seas of the Deep, which is basically Strand Tangle Spawn in effect. And then we also have the Zenith Elastic Voyage, which is basically from Seasonal Plunder. It was kind of like a deep sea jellyfish type set. So if you want the ship from that set that looks like a weird kind of jellyfish, it's available. And then we also have the Sparrow Getaway emote, which is one of those exotic emotes that actually look like they result in something instead of just being an awkward ending. And then going into our main store, we have for shaders in variety, Bloody Tooth, which is basically a black and dark blood red look, in case you were trying to look a little bit meaner. Gloam Strife from Season 11, which is basically just kind of a, I'm not gonna lie, it's a color mismatch. There's no weird textures or anything, it's just random colors. And you also have Seven Sisters from Season of the Chosen, which if I recall is basically a kind of Kaido look, but well, actually no, looking at it, it doesn't really, I thought it was going to be a Kaido look, but now my armor's way more metallic. And Springtide Fate again, because Bungie keeps doing that for some reason. And for Transmats, we have the Vex Arrival, all the way from Vanilla Destiny, basically just a little spawn-in Vex style. And another Minotaur effects, which is you kind of being built while it's spawning, like an old Gate Lord animation. And of course, the Pyramid entrance from Looming Pyramids. And then into our big ticket items for the week, we have the Square Dance emote, which of course is a square dance, which it just randomly ends when finished. The Olfactory Gesture, which I guess it's to say that somebody farted and it really smelled. But, of course, it just kind of keeps going until it just ends. And then we also have the Clean Line Shell from 2 seasons ago during Season of the Risen, which is a very satisfying looking shell. But I forget what set it was for. It might have just been a Neo Muna set, but it does look nice. And they also have the Trustworks Clipper, which is the ship from Season of Plunder, which if I recall was from a kind of carbon fiber 3D print set. Which, it does look pretty dang cool. But I'm not gonna lie, I think this is one of the ones that didn't shader too well, just as an example. Oh, actually no, aside from the Jetfire not changing, it actually does shader pretty well, so I might vouch for that. And we also have the Vice Cruiser from Season of the Risen, which is kind of a, if I recall, Neo Muna DeLorean Back to the Future style set, because if you couldn't tell what it basically is the DeLorean. And then the big ticket item, the Arenas SG-1, which is basically an Amalon branded version of Conditional Finality from last season. Last season there was a kind of thing in the water about branding where people were making ornaments for guns that definitely didn't look like they were made by a Foundation and gave them ornaments that made it look like they were made by a Foundation. Kind of a downgrade in my opinion. And then we also have the Saint 14 projection, which per the usual is the least of all interesting in the Bright Dust store. And with that, the same warning as I always give, the reset on next Tuesday, which will be 7 days from this video, 6 more so, will be the last chance you'll be able to get some of this stuff for Bright Dust. And I repeat, the Season of the Word stuff is limited time, so if you are interested in anything there, I'd recommend getting them as soon as possible, lest they disappear and not be available again until Bungie decides to randomly drop it on us again. With that, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.